Welcome back. This is a video on how to drive the same blend shape with multiple gestures. This video does assume that you already know how to drive gestures and shape keys, etc. with Logics. There are a couple of videos linked in the video description which will provide information on how to do that if you're not sure. This video assumes, like I said, that you have already watched those or know how this is working. Let's hop over here into Smooth POV and I'll show you what's up. So here in Smooth POV, I've got the Akita model, which is made by Zap. There's a link in the video description to their Sketchfab where you can check it out. Zap's avatars are great in that they come along with a lot of blend shapes. You can see here that there's a huge list. There are some that are being driven, such as the mouth visemes for when you talk and the blinking ones for when the avatar blinks, etc. But we can drive a lot more to create some gestures. So what I have here set up is a standard gesture. This one is very simple. It's just registering a touch on the A button of my index controllers on both the left and right side. So you can see right is down at the bottom and left is on the top here. So right now when I touch the A button on my left controller, it will cause the left hand side of the avatar to wink. And when I touch the right A button, it will cause the right hand side of the avatar to wink. This is driven by the wink right and wink left shape keys. So you can see here I'm touching the right A button and wink right is being driven to 1. I'm touching the left A button and wink left is being driven to 1. This is great because it's just one shape key and there's actually a shape key for each side of the face. But what if we also wanted to stick out the tongue when both of these gestures occurred? Let's set this up for one side and then we can see how we can set it up for both. So I'm going to switch to the Logics tip here, and I'm going to ensure that I'm on Extract Drive node, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the Tongue Out shape key, and I'm going to push Secondary to spawn that in the world. With this set up, I can actually plug it into one side really easily. I can just grab the output of the Smooth Lerp node and put it into Tongue Out. And now you can see that when I touch my left A button, the left side of the avatar winks and the tongue comes out. But this doesn't work for the right one, so when I touch the right A button, it just winks, no tongue comes out. Additionally, if I try to connect this gesture to that shape key, it will just swap. So now only the right side will cause the tongue to come out and the left side will not. What if I wanted both sides to have the tongue coming out? This is where the problem starts. What we can do to fix this in this case is just use some simple addition logics. This might become more complicated, more complex gestures, but hopefully this should start you on the path to sort of figuring that out yourself using an array of nodes that are available for you in Logics. In this case, we're just going to use the addition node. So if I open up my node browser here, and I can go to Operators and Plus, and I can put this in the middle here. What I can do here is take the output of the left gesture and plug it into the top of plus, the output of the bottom gesture and plug it into the bottom of the plus, and then the output of the plus and plug it into the tongue shape key here. Now when I touch the A button on the left side, the tongue comes out, and when I touch the A button on the right side, the tongue also comes out. What's going on here is we're basically taking the gesture and turning it into a value between 0 and 1. So when I'm not doing the left gesture, for example, the output of this Smooth Lerp is 0. And when I'm not doing the right gesture, the output of this Smooth Lerp is 0. So 0 plus 0 is 0, so the tongue is in. When I do the left or right shape key or gesture, the value of that side becomes 1, and it does 1 plus 0, which equals 1. There is a problem here, of course, which is when I do both gestures at once, the tongue will come out doubly as far as it should. This might not be a problem for you, but if it is a problem, you can fix it with just the addition of one more node. Let's go ahead and add that now. So if we go back to the main node browser here, we can see that in the math folder, there is a node here called clamp01. Clamp01 will take an inputted value and clamp it so that it is between 0 and 1. So there's an example here when I put the output of plus into the input to clamp01 and the output of clamp01 back into the shape key driver, we can then see that when I do both gestures at the same time, we get both sides winking, but the tongue is limited to a value of 1. In fact, if I pull out a display node for clamp01, you can see that this stops at 1 and won't go above 1. This is the multiple gesture problem solved for this particular gesture setup. I do understand that this particular setup is quite simple, but it should provide a starting point for solving complex gestures using mathematics or logics in some cases. Oh, no, I actually meant logic, not logics. Logics and logic, yes. That's all there is for this video. If you have really complex gestures that you'd like me to take a look at and find out some way for you to combine them such that both gestures, etc. can derive the same blend shape, do let me know. But for now, just remember that you can do any mathematics, any form of logic, any form of logics to drive these shape keys. It doesn't have to be one number. It could be the result of a complex equation. You could do things like E equals mc squared is the value of a shape key. It can be whatever you would like. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.